Good morning, everyone. Well, we're going to continue our personal growth journey, and hopefully everybody's been reading the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, spending 15 minutes every morning diving into a book and helping to develop your leadership growth. And today we're going to continue with the law of the process. And this chapter, I think, is probably one of the most critical foundational process for building your leadership. And the reason is this: the law of the process is that leaders are developed daily and not in a day. So you're just following a consistent and persistent daily action to build yourself. And as I was reading this book, two stories really jumped out to me, and they spoke to me, and they kind of booked in this chapter. The first story was about Anne Schreiber. She was this elderly woman who had passed away at the age of 100. But the story is this: when she retired at the age of 51, she had $5,000 to her name. And over the next 50 years, she actually amassed the net worth of $22 million by growing that $5,000. Just by doing some small, daily, consistent actions and not doing knee-jerk reactions. And the other story is about President Theodore Roosevelt. And it talks about how he was, if you look at it, he was an explorer, a cowboy. He was a big game hunter, and he was a rough rider cavalry officer. And this tough hombre, he took a bullet to the chest after his presidency, and instead of going to the hospital, he went and delivered an hour-long speech with a bullet in his chest and a broken rib. But he wasn't always this tough. You see, he started out as a puny and weak child whose parents didn't think would survive. But using the law of the process, he actually developed and built his body and his mind to become the man that he was during his presidency and thereafter. So you're probably wondering, well, Brian, how does this relate to me and to my leadership growth and to my business? Well, it's simple. Both of these individuals, Anne and Theodore Roosevelt, they followed the law of the process. They just did small daily actions every single day to develop who they were and what they became. And it's as simple as, for our AdvoCare business, your DMO. What is your daily method of operations? You see, our businesses, they're not going to be built overnight. They're not going to be built in one day. It's going to be built on solid relationships that you create with other individuals, that you kind of use and you work with individuals on a daily basis to help build your business. And it's just doing the small things and putting people through the success system. Talking to people, taking products, talking to people, and putting them through, the success systems, 2-on-1, 3-on-1, three-way calls. And you just do that regularly on a weekly, daily basis, and you watch your business flourish. And everybody, as you see, when you first start in your business and you first start, everybody's green. We don't know everything. And you follow a path that you're going to see in life. It's going to be the 5 phases of leadership growth. And this is what everyone's going to follow as you develop yourself. It's going to be, everyone's going to start out as, I don't know what I don't know. And that's when you failure to recognize your leadership. And then you move, as you start to grow it with the law of the process, you move to the I know that I need to know. And you move to the next step, which is I know what I don't know. And this is where you're going to find out, what is your plan for personal growth? What are you going to do on a daily basis to develop yourself? And we're going to move to the next phase of I know and grow, and it starts to show. So as you start to implement and you start to grow yourself on a daily basis, you'll start to realize and recognize and become a leader in your own right. And then it comes to the phase, I simply go because of what I know. And everything becomes automatic, and it's simple, and you already know what you know, and it just comes automatic to everyone. You see, no one's born a natural leader. Everybody develops it over time. And I just want to leave you with one note. This is just so true. Champions aren't made in the ring. They are merely recognized there. So everybody, let's continue on our growth through the law of the process, and just be consistent in what you do on a daily basis.